Biggest thing, what I saw of you, and I was on Craigslist, and that's, all this, I was looking at different properties and all that, and I saw yours, like, see the video here. Okay, let me see. And then you went through, and I'm like, okay, here's a guy who's been studying it. He's hungry. I like how you went through and spent the time with it.
Right.
And I want
Thank
your,
you.
yeah, no,
Thank you.
really. I mean, it was because that's what business is all about, is providing value. I don't care what you look like, what you speak like, whatever. If you're providing value, people are going to see that, and if you're a hard worker and you haven't, then I emailed you and you emailed me back right away. And that's the other thing, just as important, is customer service. I didn't want to come in.
I quit my job back in November. I just said, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I don't know why. I don't know if I was under depression or whatever, but I told him, hey, I can do this. So I was living. Right now, I'm still in. This is my first deal. Yesterday was my first deal ever.
Yeah.
So right now I'm living off of my disability, which is not much, $1,800 per month, not much. So, but I got bills to pay. I got kids, and I had a family emergency, which I had to take care of my mom and all that stuff. And I don't know. I was like, I need to find my drive. I need to find my purpose. So I started looking up the internet, Google, and I saw real estate. I know. I read that the number one way to wealth is real estate.
Yep.
So I started looking to real estate investing and found out there was different types of real estate investing. And I saw people. I watch HGTV sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I want to do that. Like that look fun. Church out
I hit a
things.
couple hundred.
I saw that, but I'm like, hey, I don't have money. I don't have any money to do that. I wish I could do that. But then I found out about wholesale, where you don't need no money, zero down, good credit, bad credit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Only thing you need to learn how to do is just sell and negotiate. So I read a couple of books a couple of weeks ago about wholesale and real estate. My first book I read was the I can't say it right, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Okay.
So I got into that and said where I'm supposed to have a big why, because I didn't have a big why. They were explaining you need to have a big why to keep you, focused, laser focused on your goals and stuff. So my big why is my daughter. My big why is my daughter. I thought about it like, hey, I want to send her to private school, send her off to college. I don't want her to go to the military. They have to pay for college or anything like that. I want to almost even read. She works at Walmart and stuff. So I'm like, hey, I want to take care of my mom. Like, she's 55 years old. I just want her to just sit back and relax. So right now, that's why. Right now, I'm so focused. And one thing about me, if you haven't noticed, is my speech. I think too fast before it come out of my mouth and stuff. So I'm working on that. But that was holding me back at first. Like I been thought about real estate 2 months ago, but I was afraid like how I talk, meeting people like you. I'm like, hey, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this, but right now I'm at a point where I have no choice. It's do or die.
Yeah.
So I got started last week. I say, what can I do to make a wholesale business? I did look at a couple of videos and watch people like Gary Vee and stuff. And the number one answer is social media.
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. So, but I learned other investing like buy, fix, and rent. Like there's a method, the Bird method. You ever heard of that?
No.
It's buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat.
Okay.
Right. So you buy a house, you fix, you renovate it. You renovate it, and then you rent it out, and wait 6 months for the bank to refinance, and you just repeat. You get the difference.
Right.
And you can buy another house. It's the fastest way to. So far, it's the fastest way to build.
Yeah.
Wow. So I want to keep wholesaling. I want to do so good in a couple of months of wholesaling that I got enough to buy a house and renovate.
Yeah.
You know, the Bird method: buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. So
yeah,
that's my end goal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much. I'm reading every day. I'm studying. I'm learning lessons every day. So, one thing I need to work on though is my ARV.
Yep.
You know, sometimes I get the numbers wrong. Like you said, you're like, hey, $72,000 is too high. I'm like, man, I was cursing. I'm like, I had a couple of people say that's too high. What you doing? Like, so I need to work on that, the numbers and stuff, comps and stuff. I was looking at Zello and they say don't pay attention to the Zestimate or whatever. Like, it's hard. It's like a lot of math and stuff. But after this deal, since my first house, I think I'm gonna pay someone to run the comps for me. Because I mean, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at speaking. I'm not good at. There's a lot of things I'm not good at, but that's part of working hard. Part of working smart, not hard.
Yeah.
You pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So I want to also build a system where soon, when I get enough capital, hire virtual assistants. You know, make phone calls, set up appointments. You know, where I come to an appointment and go to there. So that's my. I got a plan laid out ever since I read that book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So I cannot wait.
I've been in. So a couple of things here. You talk about your history and your career and why you walked away from your job.
Yeah.
One of the things, and it drives parents crazy when I tell their kids, do whatever the fuck you want. Life is too. I went to Italy for a semester. Came back. I said, fuck that. I don't want to be a doctor. I want to travel the world. So I switched. I graduated in Italian and chemistry. Out of school, I ended up getting a job with an insurance company. 2 years later, I started my own investment firm.
Okay.
4 years after that, I started selling websites on the side because it was fun for me.
Wow.
3 years ago, so now I'm 40 years old, right? I moved here in 2014.
Right.
3 years ago, I shut down the investment firm because I was just having so much fun with the websites and the marketing and all. I've run for political office and almost won. And if so, I wouldn't be here because, up in Chicago, I almost won the mayor of our neighborhood.
Wow.
I was outspent 10-1. I was against all the odds. You talk about. I'm a big. I started taking pilot lessons. Why not? Life is just. I had a heart attack 3 years ago. At 37 years old. Well, I'm still sitting here, so got lucky, caught it, whatever. Shit happens. So life is too short.
Yeah.
You talk about one thing is your speech. I know I sound like you. How old are you right now?
I'm 27, 28 this year. I'm going to turn 28.
So I was 23 when I started my investment company, and I thought two things. One, who's going to trust me with money? I'm a 23-year-old kid. And two, I can say this, no one else can. I'm a greaseball from Chicago. Who's going to give,
Right.
But if you know your stuff, and more than anything, if you're a hard worker and you're passionate for it, people will trust you. I can turn on and off my greaseball a little bit, not much, but I've also learned to embrace it, so I've done everything from, sit here with a guy, hey, let's meet, let's have coffee. Great, sounds great. But yeah, the biggest thing, what I saw of you, and I was on Craigslist, and that's, all this, I was looking at different properties and all that, and I saw yours, and like, see the video here. Okay, let me see it. And then you went through, and I'm like, okay, here's a guy who's been studying it. He's hungry. I like how you went through and spent the time with it.
Right.
And I watched
Thank
your,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
really. I mean, it was because that's what business is all about, is providing value. I don't care what you look like, what you speak like, whatever. If you're providing value, people are going to see that, and if you're a hard worker and you haven't, then I emailed you and you emailed me back right away. And that's the other thing, just as important, is customer service. I mean, live and die by your customers. Your customers are buying and selling properties.
And that's the thing. I believe I sold this house because I actually listen to their story. I sit down, like what I'm doing with you now.
Yeah.
Like I like to meet people. I like to talk to people. I like to get out there and listen to their stories and stuff. And the lady that bought the house, it felt great. Yesterday felt great. So I don't know. I want that feeling again.
Right.
So
you're doing this. This is your everyday thing.
Every day, full time, committed. I'm taking a risk, but life is about risk.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm taking a big risk. Like people are like, oh, you need a job. You're not being responsible. Are you stupid? This and that. But I don't know. Take a risk. I mean, that's what life is about. But I mean, I closed my first deal yesterday, so I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. So who knows? Who knows, man?
Yeah. That's awesome. So, you would ask me what I was looking for,
Right.
I'm looking for houses like that the one you had, or more than anything, I would like to get into like a 2 or 3 unit building. Okay. I want to be able to do renovations because I think that would be fun,
right.
And it's a great wealth builder, I'm not against houses,
Right.
I think my biggest challenge right now is I don't have time. My kids are 14 and 10 years old. I go to work. I'm at the office at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I got 21 employees, and that does not, believe me, that doesn't make me rich by any stretch. That's 21 paychecks I got to send every 2 weeks.
That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of time, but like I said, I'm of the philosophy that, okay, if you want to do something, go out and do it. You said, well, you got to have a job. Most people do need to have a job. 98% of the people in this world need to go out and have a job. The other 2% of us, I haven't had a job since I was 23 years old. At 23 years old, I went off on my own, and I've run my own businesses ever since. There's ups, there's downs. I mean, when I first started my own company, before I started, I went and told my father, I said, Dad, leaving, I'm going to go start my own company. He said, you're the biggest fucking idiot in the world. He said, starting your own business, running your own business is the hardest thing to do. That's it. He said, I had to get that out of the way. Now let me tell you, it's the best decision you can make. So it was like, one of those things, like, you got to realize the reality.
Right.
I mean, that's part of it.
Right. It's part of it. It's part of the deal, but worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it. It's all about adapt. If you can adapt to change, you should be okay. And that's why I'm focusing on, like, hey, if I get a no, how can I get a yes? So, I mean, it's all about that.
So one of the things I've learned in business and with business partners and just, in reflection over time is recognizing and being humble about your strengths and your weaknesses,
Right.
So, like, obviously I don't know you, we just met, but I was watching those videos, I'm like, here's a guy who, he's hungry, and granted, you're new to it, there are going to be ups and downs. Have you done that? Have you figured out where you're strong, where you're weak?
I think, like I said, my weakness is my speech, and I'm shy. Like, I'm not a public speaker. Like, I'm working on that, and one day I will get that. There, I tend to turn my weakness into strength. So, my strength right now, like, I didn't have strength until last week. So it's hard. Like, right now, I can say my strength is the drive, the motivation right now. Like, I don't know. I'm on fire right now. I don't know. I can't really say my strength right now because there's a lot of things I was doing, wasting my time. I was playing video games and all day, all night, not getting things done, watching TV until I got like my back is against the wall right now. So I guess that's what it takes. Like to some people, it takes for something traumatic to happen to push in. So 2 weeks ago it happened, and now I'm on fire right now. So
the hardest thing is keeping that down, because you know you're on fire now, but 9 months, a year from now, you forget what it felt like to be backed against the wall.
Right.
And that's so
okay.
Yeah. So where do you want to go with this? Now, you said you're doing social media.
Mm-hmm.
What's your long? So there's this and I believe you've seen him, Max. What's his name?
Maxwell.
Yeah.
Right. Now I want to hire because I'm not perfect with social media. I don't know if you have some of my blogs. I post blogs every day.
Yeah, I've seen it too. You
see a couple of them?
I watched. You had 4 of them.
I have 4.
I watched
you watched every one of them.
I watched every one of them. Yeah.
I thought you just watched the video of me like showing the house.
No, I saw you and your girlfriend practicing your entries coming in the house. I saw you go back the next day with balloons on the signs, which I'll give you a tip. If this is the lawn and this is the street, put your signs perpendicular so people could see it when they're driving by. Like this, nobody sees it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I watched them all.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching. Wow.
Well, like
That's
I say,
amazing.
you know what? I liked what I saw with that house. I think this guy's going somewhere, and maybe we just end up with I see what deals you come across. You know, maybe it ends up something more. Who knows?
Right.
But, yeah. So I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Wow, that means a lot. I'm shocked right now. I don't know what to say. I'm like, maybe he just watched the video I post on Craigslist of the house, and that's it.
Right.
I didn't know you watched my vlogs. Wow.
That's always exciting to me. I mean, I want to hear about your properties, but I want to hear where you're going with business too. I would like you to help me find properties. There's no doubt. But I have found that in business and in life, what can I offer of value to you as well? And maybe it's just buying properties. Maybe there's something else. Worst case scenario, we have a good conversation.
I'm learning a lot right now. Like this right here is enough. Even though you don't buy any properties from here on out from me, this right here is good enough for me, and I thank you so much.
It's always great to meet good people.
Right.
So what's your plan with how are you running your business right now?
All right. So right now, I'm using what I have.
Yeah.
A phone and a girlfriend and my daughter. That's all I have. Later on, when I had capital, or with this $8,000 that I made, I had it on contract for 60. I'm thinking about buying a buy a camera. Like, I don't know what kind. I'm not into cameras, but I need to get into cameras. Once I finish with that, I think about hiring a cameraman, like a guy like Max Maxwell, a guy following him around, edit his videos for him. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just using what I have, but when I gain enough capital, wholesaling business, so far I read and saw, it's kind of hard because you talk to a seller, right? And you tell them, hey, I want to buy your house for this much. But then you talk to a buyer, but if one of them or both of them know how much you're making off that deal, they're gonna see like, hey, you didn't really do nothing. I mean, I know I think wholesalers have value. They bring value, like you say, you don't have time, and that. So they bring some value, but there's a lot of people that don't get that. So some people have to do double closing just to avoid. But me, like I did with this lady, this deal and today deal. I said, hey, I'm a wholesaler. Just to let you know, I buy properties for profit. Like I advertise your property, all that stuff. And I'm like, are you okay with that? And they say, yeah, we're okay. I'm like, you sure? Like, all right. So I think honest goes a long way.
Yeah.
Some wholesalers I met and the we buy houses people, they say, hey, just tell them, hey, I'm buying the property. They don't have to know. They don't have to know. But it's part of building trust. Like I want a business in the future. I still want your business in the future. So if I sell you a house, if I say, hey, I'm gonna buy your house at 60 or whatever, if I do double closing, right?
Yeah.
And somehow the past owner drive by and see how the house is doing, and see someone else, and they learn that, hey, Ray didn't bought the house, someone else did. What the, ain't gonna cause conflict and gonna later on hurt you in the future, because if they have another house for sale, they're not gonna want to sell it to you because they don't think that you went. Well, it's hard. I think it is going behind your back. That's how I see it. You're going behind this people's back by doing that, double closing.
Well, I think it's a matter of educating people a little bit on it. What we do in websites is you can go to GoDaddy and start a website for, free basically, $10 a month or whatever.
Right.
Why would I pay $10 to do it?
Right.
Well, we're gonna bring you a custom design. We're gonna build a user experience and flow people through your sales funnel and entice them to take the actions you want. So if you just want a brochure, go pay $10 a month.
Right.
But if you want a 24/7, sales force online, a delightful user experience that works across mobile and all that, that's why you come to us for our expertise.
Right.
I think on the wholesaling side, some people get it. So if I asked you, and I did ask you, this is wholesale, what's the deal? And if I got the slightest bit of bullshit from you, we wouldn't be sitting here, because you just never know who understands it and who doesn't. And for someone who doesn't, I think that probably one of the greatest strengths around the wholesale is, no, I'm not a real estate agent. You're not dealing with any commissions or anything. I get paid, based on, I'm going to go out and actively find you sellers and market your property. And that's all it is, and a lot of people don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think right now I'm doing a good job, because I don't know any other wholesalers that I don't even know. I heard different sides of the story. I can't do an open house because I'm not a real estate agent. I don't have my real estate license. Do not call it open house. Call it inspections or something like that. And then I don't know. But I love doing that open house because I just like the hustle.
Yeah.
I feel good. I just like the hustle. So, I don't know. I asked this one, can I do an open house? They say they don't feel comfortable. Now, I understand why they say it. This house is nice. Like, this guy trying to renovate, but he don't have time anymore. He got a new job. He got to get rid of this house. He said he giving me 2 weeks to sell this house and stuff. He's selling it for $65,000. I saw it on Craigslist. Matter of fact, let me show you. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. The roof needed to be replaced, but he said $4,800 for the roof and some cosmetic. That's it. But the refrigerator, dryer, washer, you get to keep. And oh man, I'm so excited. My hands shaking. I cannot play. I couldn't believe it. You'll see it on my blog. I said, "Are you sure you want to sell this for $65,000?"
Yeah.
Like, I felt bad. Like, and you're like, "Well, if you felt bad," and the wife went like, "Well, if you feel bad, send me." And they're like, "I was just joking." But enough talking. Let me show you.
Well, I'll tell you, when I moved here from Chicago, we put our house up on the market for $235,000 or something, and it was it was a mistake because my agent did not tell me that I should paint it and stage it. You know, I had suggested it. He said, no, you don't need to do that. I went with, you know, his recommendation. And ultimately then, the house was on the market for 9 months.
Right.
When I finally had someone come in and paint it and stage it, I had a contract in 3 weeks. So think about what it cost me. Now, my property tax alone were $9,000 a year. So think about what it cost me.
Right.
I would have accepted a lower price and a faster sale.
Right.
You know?
But this is the house. And let me click on it. 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet. And here's the thing. Here's the picture. I went inside just now. I'm like, no way. I mean, I just started this real estate business, but I don't know. That if I sold this house, I would say this is the best house I sold. And all this, you keep all this. The bathroom. I took a video.
Is he not done renovating it or what? Was he renovating it?
He was.
And he ran out of money.
He he said he don't have time. He got
Yeah,
another
he ran
job.
out of money.
That's what it means. He got a pool. But let me show you the video.